Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach and author of Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. All this week, I'm talking to Chef Skylar out of Texas. He is the owner of 3 different food concepts, and we explore his unique vision for the food vending industry. In a special bonus episode, Chef Skylar and I talk about folks believing in your dream and the power that grants to you.
Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
You got to take advantage of every tool that's at your disposal. Definitely technology is one tool.
Because I believe that we live in a democratization of technology world. That means that when I started building websites, people had to hire software engineers like me, pay a lot of money to build websites from ground up. These days, you already have these platforms where you create an account, get your domain, put in the building blocks, and voila, you got yourself some, you already got a functional, because the customer expects it. The customer is tech savvy. I got a literally like a 13-year-old niece. She's writing apps and her apps are like tens of thousands of downloads and this and that. And I'm like, what? So the next generation that is coming in, depending on now, if you're, let's say, living in rural Texas, you may not be that much, requiring apps. But if you're, let's say, living a hotshot food truck in New York or New Jersey or California or streets of California, those guys are technology. They live, breathe technology. So they're like, you gotta have it. You gotta know where your customer is, and then use that channel. And in order to use that channel, you gotta have the right technology.
I like what you're talking about as far as doing the technology and all of the different things that food truckers have got to do. They've got to realize that if they're going to do a business, rather than, like you said, just creating their own job, being self-employed, they've got to address all of those different aspects. You've got to be able to market. You got to be able to do the technology. You got to be able to do the cooking part of it. You got to be able to do the guest service part of it. All of those different elements add up to a business. And if you're not doing all of those different elements, you don't really have a business. You just created a job. And like I like to say, sometimes when you create your own job, you may not like your boss.
Yep. So, and we can help people, if people, not everybody is, gifted, we can certainly help, as in the group, we can explore avenues of teaching, and I like to call it the small business enablement. And I actually kind of teach out here, young kids and people like, we can help them we can help reduce the barrier to entry if people are willing to put in the hard work. You know what I'm saying? I like to say, when I was growing up, just my own example, my parents used to say, God helps those who help themselves, and for the longest time I was like, you know what, but God is just, I don't want to get religious or anything, and I don't want to hurt anybody's sentiment, but I'm like, to me, what I took that was that, okay, God helps those who help themselves. When I grew up, my interpretation of that was that if I have a passion for what I'm doing and have a strong conviction and I'm willing to work hard, like my day starts at 4 a.m. in the morning and it does not end till like 10, and so when I do that, people around me will start seeing that passion, that conviction. They will then start believing in me. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened with my friends. They started believing in me. And when the children, they ate the food, and I taught how to, make a cranberry sauce in a Thanksgiving to a 12-year-old, of my friend's child, and they started believing in me, so when they saw my passion, my conviction, that's when they started seeing it and believing, and that's when they started helping me. So in a sense, they became my God. They are the ones who started, you know what, and I had a God who was 12-year-old kid of my friend, because he believed in, to me, and he was willing to tell his parents that, you know what, I have a 7-year-old. I mean, on my chef scholarswowpizza.com, I have a 7-year-old. I have a voice message that a 7-year-old left, and I can play it right now if you can. And you just hear the excitement in that voice, and it's a 7-year-old, and that how excited she is about the pizza. That's then at that moment, that 7-year-old was like my God, because she believed in me, and that's what all my parents. And so that's really where, we believe as a community. I don't know how many people we have, but I think a lot of, we believe in you, we believe in each other, we want to help you, right? So we can certainly create opportunities, classes, if you feel you need this. Because again, this is my personal opinion, that what pandemic has taught us is that we are all in this together. We support each other. We, in my town, I have like 3-4 barbecue food trucks, but they're all friends. They all decide when they want to do, which city they want to do it, and they are all good. And they have slightly different, somebody is Kansas City barbecue, somebody is a North Carolina, South Carolina, somebody is a true Texas barbecue,
Right.
somebody is a Memphis. We can support each other, and I can certainly, we can make it happen for you guys.
I think there's still plenty of room for great food trucks in the country, and there's plenty of room for growth. I don't think we're anywhere near being saturated. We're several years away from that for sure. But what will happen is the ones that aren't taking it serious and the ones that are just in it to, make a buck, they'll be the ones that will be selling their equipment next year, because the guests will realize they're not passionate about it. They're not trying to create a business. They're not trying to create something delicious. They just want to sell you a burger, for $15, and here you go, have a nice day. That's not going to last very long, because there'll be other people that'll come into the marketplace selling the exact same product, but they're making it delicious. It's like you said, with those different types of barbecues, they can all coexist and be super successful because they're all slightly different, but they're all probably really, really good at what they do. But you get somebody that's coming in that's, I can do barbecue, and they might pull a little bit of business away, but it won't be pulled away very long.
Yep, I agree.
Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful in your food truck business, please consider becoming a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the links in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They all have your back when it comes to answering all the questions you have about starting a food truck business. Again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow, because I got plenty more to say about the food truck industry.